This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Welcome, everybody, to Super Bowl 59 coverage here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. It's Super Bowl Tailgate. I am Crispy Bacon, here with James. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm going to try to get my voice back, hopefully, for the show right now. It's been just a weird time. You know, the fever, flu, whatever. Just at the worst timing, too, because, I'd rather be at a party. I'd rather be, I could do this show than go to somebody's party. But, I'm here. My team ain't in the game, of course, behind me, and that's what sucks as well.
Technology.
Chris will be back right now.
I'm here.
Yeah. But it's a great time of year, of course, with the Super Bowl. The unfortunate part is, the off season and what that will be. I'm not going to watch the UFL or any other football leagues. I usually give my just it's not important. It's not as important as the NFL, So I just can't put myself, to another professional league. That's what I think.
There's several players from the UFL that
I know
that come to the NFL and vice versa and all that.
Mainly kickers, punters, but I'm just happy that the Super Bowl's here, and it's an intriguing matchup between these two, and I know we'll get to that pretty soon.
We will. It is Super Bowl 59. I can find what. Oh, here we go. What do you think of the matchup? We'll just go over that. Eagles and Chiefs.
Well, yeah, without going through the positions, I guess we could give some context on the Super Bowl 59, where these two met 2 Super Bowls ago, and the Chiefs won. I think it was 33-27. I want to say. Let's see. To win their first out of the last 2. 38-35. And Patrick Mahomes, of course, was the MVP. He's a 3-time MVP of the Super Bowl there. That's, I guess, the one that matters the most. And he gets to that. He's won 3 out of the 4. For the Eagles, they still have some leftovers from the time that they went to the Super Bowl then. And then a few when they won in 2018 when they defeat the Patriots. 41-33 over Tom Brady, who will be at this game as an analyst, his first Super Bowl, and I know that's going to be a big thing to listen to among the commercials as well. What's funny though, I'm going to be listening to the Eagles radio. Merrill Reese and Mike Quick doing the play-by-play. I don't know. I just rather listen to them, and it's been good luck. The Eagles have won every. I know the Eagles have won every game that I've heard them do. Throughout the playoffs, I've listened, of course, and I just Kansas City, they have all the fanfare. They have Taylor Swift with them in the suite. But you have her and Kelsey, and then the fact that um, it's a possibility that uh, Kelsey might retire if they win the Super Bowl after the game tonight. That would be something to watch for. Proposal possibly. But for the game, man, I'll just do it when we go through the positions. But I think it would be a close scoring game. Of course, I cannot fathom a blowout. It would be awful if that was the case. I would hate that.
I can understand that. Let's go through the toe of the tape or our position matchups. Let's start with quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback here. So you got Mahomes, of course. Again, the three-time Super Bowl MVP. And then you got Jalen Hurts, who's gone to the Super Bowl and lost against Patrick Mahomes a couple of years ago. Both run the ball, but Jalen Hurts does it a little bit more, although it hasn't been the case this year because of Saquon Barkley. But Patrick Mahomes, he just gets it done. And I know he gets the help from the officials, but he makes those solid throws when he can. He stays in the pocket and gets the job done. He takes some hits as well. But he can also run for first downs on third down when all the coverage is downfield. He can definitely exploit the defense very well. So Hurts, though, this year, I think both guys haven't had, awesome seasons that we were all used to watching them have. But with Jalen Hurts, it feels like this is the first game, I think, where he legitimately feels healthy. I don't know if he's even going to be playing with a knee brace on, but I know he has throughout the season. Late in the year, he got hurt against Washington, and ever since then, he had to be real careful about running, and everybody kind of cringes when he runs. But yeah, he doesn't make too many mistakes. If he did, it's fumbles. But I guess I'll give the slight advantage to Patrick Mahomes on this, just based on what he's able to do every time, or what he's able to get away with. Let's just say. What do you think?
Well, they're talking about how they're saying on the quarterback in franchise history to start multiple Super Bowls, Jalen Hurts for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they said if you don't count week 17, I think it was, when he had the concussion or the bye or the bye week, I think it was, or maybe their second loss, I can't remember. He's basically perfect. Perfect record as a quarterback. You have Patrick Mahomes on the other side, who's similar in a way to Brady in that the NFL does not want to hurt him. He's the face of the NFL. But if you count that out, he's probably more accurate. I'm probably going to go with Mahomes.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
What about running back?
Well, obviously, I'll start off with the Chiefs, though. Pacheco is really good. He's young, and I was hoping he would come back this year, and he has. Maybe not as explosive, but he's really good. Kareem Hunt, though, it seems like he's getting more of the touches, and he's been running really well for the Chiefs this year. P. Ryan is also there, the former Bengal. If you really need like a yard, he's a really tough runner out of the backfield. But I think Saquon Barkley, just by himself, is just that guy. I think, of course, he's the best running back, no doubt, in the league right now. He showed it this year, 100 yards from the record from Eric Dickerson, this season. And I commend the Eagles and Saquon for, not going after the record and possibly, injuring himself.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to seen it, but yeah, he had so many 30-plus yard runs this year, so many big runs in the playoffs. I think he had, 7 touchdowns in the playoffs this year so far. And he's just been amazing. And, man, it's like he's rejuvenated ever since he left the Giants to go over to the Eagles. He's just been amazing. And then Kenneth Gainwell is really good as well out of the backfield, the backup there. He runs very tough, and hopefully he's learned some of this from Saquon. But yeah, I got to go with Saquon on this.
I'm going Saquon too. He's been playing lights out. Ever since trading, getting out of New York, going to Philadelphia, it's been a breath of fresh air. Ironically, today is his birthday. I think
Oh,
there's one
that's
other
right.
thing.
Cooper DeJean, the rookie corner, is also, or safety, is the other birthday man on this Sunday.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's a little bit of a good luck, but who knows? But anyway, I'm going with Saquon for top running back. Let's go with making sure my list here. Wide receivers. You're muted.
Sorry, shit.
There you go.
Sorry. All right, so it's very funny how the Eagles season has gone when you talk about the receivers. I'm trying to remember which one had beef with Jalen Hurts, but they squashed it. It was either, of course, A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts, but that's all behind them. They showered the head coach Sirianni with Gatorade or whatever it was. The two receivers did, and it looks like, of course, they've been, thought of, after Saquon, because the offense seems to run through Saquon and Hurts. But when healthy, those two are amazing, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. By the way, Devontae Smith, like I shared before the show, he is trying to become the 5th NFL player who won a Heisman Trophy, won a Super Bowl, and won a national championship in college football. And the other 4 are Marcus Allen, Charles Woodson, Tony Dorsett, and Reggie Bush. So that's some fun and explosive company Devonta Smith would be with if that happens. All right, so Kansas City, everybody thought without Tyreek Hill, they're not going to be as explosive, right? Well, the Bills did the Chiefs a favor. At the end of the first round, they swapped picks, and Xavier Worthy was drafted from Texas by Kansas City, and he's been tremendous. He's been so quick. They were able to get back Juju Smith-Schuster, who won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago with the Eagles when these two met. DeAndre Hopkins, who I know I mentioned, man, he should have done the same route as Juju. Well, guess what? They're playing together with the Chiefs in the biggest game here, and Hopkins is trying to get a deal after this, and he's going to maybe be a Super Bowl champion, which he's deserved a ring just like Saquon Barkley has. So, he's going to be balling out. Hollywood Brown, remember the former Cardinal, limited playoff experience.
No, he was a Raven.
Yeah, and the oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah, and the Cardinal before that. Um, and then yeah, he went to the Ravens, and I thought he was going to be there a while, but no, he ended up on the Chiefs, and he's been hurt this year, but he's also playing well, and he's there. And then look out for Justin Watson. He's a tall, big receiver. He reminds me of a tight end, though, when you look at Justin Watson today, number 84 for Kansas City. Man, I just think this is tough. This is probably the toughest comparison when you try to think who will have the advantage between these two.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm stunned because you have just two guys for the Eagles, but then you have a legitimate 3 or 4 great receivers for the Chiefs. So I'm just torn here, honestly. But I'll go with the Eagles just based on the two names and the numbers they've put up. But they're probably the Kansas City ones have probably proved me wrong because Juju wants another ring. DeAndre Hopkins wants his. After all those years, with Houston and Arizona not getting close.
Right.
And then Worthy just trying to be really, really great. And then don't forget Rashid Rice, who got hurt earlier in the year, I want to say, against the Chargers. And he's out, but eventually he'll get his ring if they win this year. So just imagine if Rice didn't get hurt, they went and brought back Juju or DeAndre Hopkins, or they went and traded for DeAndre Hopkins. So it's just amazing how deep they really are. But I'll go with the Eagles. What do you think?
That's tough. They're both really good. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes there.
Let's see, yeah.
City, but Jalen Hurts is really good too. I'm going with the Chiefs. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
What about tight ends?
The tight end, of course, America's favorite, Travis Kelce. And those two, again, the brothers met a couple of years ago. Now Jason retired. They have a podcast. I forget what it's called, but
The New Heights.
New Heights, thank you. I swore I was going to listen to some episodes, but I haven't. But they've had some entertaining shows, of course. But yeah, you start with him. And again, I think he only caught about 3 touchdowns this year in the regular season. But he's made some, very important third down catches. He always has that tight end option route where it looks like he's going to go deep, and then he just comes back, and then he's wide open every damn time. I hate it. And the secondary just keeps, falling back for it. He can either do a post or it's like the old Madden play, the tight end option. It depends, how much space you have. You can bounce off of that and just stay here and get ready for the ball. I know Gray's a good backup as well. And they've used him a lot whenever Kelce gets doubled or the attention is on him from the linebacker.
Yeah.
Gray has been open, so that's been great to see if you're a Chief fan. Now, Dallas Goedert is no slouch. He's really good. The fact that his name is Dallas and plays for Philadelphia is weird. I always found that to be weird since he was drafted in second round in 18.
I think that's why his name is called Dallas, because he was a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Wow.
I remember that right.
That would be something. Their backup, Khalek Terrera. He's nowhere near this game unless he has tickets. He's going to have to sit in the front row. Goddard is really good. They've used him more now this year, I think, even with the 2 injuries to the receivers. But Goddard is no slouch either. But yeah, I got to give it to Kelce. He runs the route so damn well. He blocks very well. And then I want to see today, Chris, if he catches a ball and if he does that lateral to a receiver and if it's a big play, or as you remember, Reggie Bush tried the same thing in the Rose Bowl in 2006 against the Longhorns. He tried a lateral and that went wrong. So I want to see in a big game, and Kelsey tries to do too much. I want to see if he fails with that. But yeah, when it comes to tight ends, I'm going Kansas City.
I'm going Kansas City too in a way. Kelsey's really good. He's probably of the two sides, he's probably the best tight end out there. But he's trying to shake it off a little bit. No, it's fine. I had to put it in there. I'm going Kelsey. Now let's go to the trenches, so to speak, and go with the O line and the D line, starting with O line.
Yeah, shout out to A.Q. Shipley. He's on the McAfee show during the week, and he'll break down the offensive lines, which ones had the great blocks, which one create the holes and everything. And then we'll talk about the NFL honors later, right? But Deion Dawkins, the left guard for Buffalo, he was talking about that the offensive linemen and the men in the trenches, the defensive linemen as well, probably, they need their own award. They don't have an award for those guys up front. So that'd be interesting to note if that ever happens. So shout out to Dawkins for mentioning that. So let's start off with the Chiefs because it's right here. Joe Thuney. Remember, he was the New England Patriot who has postseason experience in his, veteran career so far. He moved over from, I think, right tackle to left tackle, and he's been heaven sent for the Chiefs up front. I mean, there were times this year, again, the Chiefs, even though they've had the 15-2 record, they haven't won every game easy, of course. Nothing ever is. But this year they've had, the offense not go their way, and they had to win it defensively. They were not protecting Mahomes until Thuney moved over to left tackle. So he's just been tremendous there. Mike Caliendo, not Frank's brother, but he's good at left guard. And then Creed Humphrey, man, this guy's been awesome too at center. He's really good there. Number 52. Trey Smith, he's been there also since 21. They've drafted so well, have the Chiefs. So they've done that well on center and the right guard. And then Juwan Taylor, who came over from the Jaguars. You would think he's happy to be with the or away from the Jaguars and with the Chiefs. He's been great too on the right side. Definitely setting the edge there. Now, you look at the Eagles' offensive line, of course, with Kelsey retiring, there had to be a different center, right? So you have Cam Jurgens, who is a center there, and he's been great. Jordan Maliaga, the left tackle, who's been there the second to the longest. He's been awesome there. I mean, the running line has been awesome there. Landon Dickinson is great at left guard. And then this one is great too, because it just shows you once you leave the Jets or the Giants, Chris, you do well in other places. And Mekhi Becton has been awesome at right guard for the Eagles, going across the state from Jersey to Philly. He's just been great, and it's just great to see his career, have another chapter to it. Lane Johnson, though, he's been there since 2013. I believe he's the longest tenured Eagle on the Eagles. The right guard, the right tackle, Lane Johnson. He's been amazing. He was there, of course, when they won the Super Bowl in 2017, 2018. So he's been amazing. So with all that being said, I gotta give it to the Eagles offensive line just because of how well they've drafted. Not draft. Well, yeah, how long they've been around, but how long they've blocked for the running game, and they've given Hurts. You've seen in this postseason, great time to make plays happen downfield. So yeah, I give it to the Eagles offensive line on this.
Definitely the Eagles. Back in 2016 to 2018, they had the Built for Tough Offensive Line of the Year. And this was handed out at NFL Honors. In 2017, the Eagles won it. They named 2 tackles and 2 tackles, 2 guards, and a center. So as a team, the Eagles won it. It was Cowboys, Eagles, and Rams. Those 3 years, 2016 to 18.
You know what, Chris? I think with Dawkins, he was talking about how maybe the award isn't shown during the show.
It hasn't been awarded since 2018.
Oh, and that too. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Dawkins though. I think those guys and AQ Shipley, those guys advocating for the offensive line, because without that, they're just gonna get the quarterback.
and I think that's what makes it. I won't say a lesser known position, but it does, like you said, and Dawkins said, it doesn't get talked a lot.
Yeah.
So, now let's move over to 2016 or 2016. The defensive.
Yeah, the defensive line, man, you could just call the Eagles' defensive line the Dogs because they just have a bunch of Georgia Bulldogs on it. Jalen Carter, of course, drafted first round last year. He's been amazing. He doesn't take plays off unless he gets hurt. He's just been amazing. He clogs up that front defensive tackle there. The nose tackle, Jordan Davis, he's also been great. Man, those two are really unbeatable right there. I realized I didn't pick linebackers, so maybe I'll just go. I'll go with that next. But yeah, those two there just really are wreckers for anybody playing the Eagles there. And in Kansas City up front, of course, you have to admire, you have to respect Chris Jones. He's been amazing. He's come back after some contract issues from last year, but he's been able to play at a high standard still, and you can see him going out as a winner. There's a reason why he Chiefs wanted to keep him despite overpaying him. He's still amazing up front. And then the rookie from 2022, who's all he's known is winning Super Bowls the first 2 years, George Karlaftis. Karlaftis. It's something Greek. That's all I know. Number 56. Watch him today. He's very important up front. He's a really good player. So those two are really good. But I just think the Eagles' defense up front, they're going to stop the run. And they're going to be a disruptor today. And I got to give the edge to them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles too. And one note, kind of going back to offensive line, you got to remember about the Eagles and the tush push.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah. And
I forgot to mention that.
It's okay. I kind of did too when I was talking about it. And I guess we'll call it the Bill Stampede.
I saw that. Yeah.
I don't think they had a name. I'll call it the Bill Stampede. They stopped it 3 times. Chiefs did. So
That's right. Down by
But
the goal line too.
that wasn't the tush push, so
Mm-mm.
we'll see what happens here. But I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah. Okay. So the linebackers, because I forgot to put it on, I'll just go through them real quick. So Mike Data, Tranquil, Bolton, and Chanel for the Chiefs. They're all pretty solid together as a unit, but none of them make the explosive plays that you need. So when you look at the Eagles, right, and their linebackers, there's one man that stands out above everybody else, and he's been amazing this year, and that's been Zach Bond. Um, he was a free agent from the Saints, and I know the Saints are they got so many issues anyway. But he's been everywhere on the field making plays. I mean, he's making turnovers this postseason. He's been amazing. He is so underrated, and he's been awesome. Nolan Smith, the other linebacker, is really good. And then, of course, Josh Sweat, part of the Sweat brothers there. He's amazing as well. Oren Burks, who you'll see, I think, on the special teams, so he's pretty good. And then Jeremiah Trout Jr., he's just learning, but his father was a really, really great player. And then what might be cool to see today, Brandon Graham is coming back from his, I think, elbow injury. I don't know if he'll play, but he is the longest tenured Eagle, not Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson was 2013. Brandon Graham was drafted in 2010 in the first round out of Michigan. And I followed his career a long time. And I hope he gets to play this game. I wonder how bandaged up he's going to be. But yeah, I got to give the edge to the Eagles linebackers. They're just amazing all over the place.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that. Special teams. Actually, let's go linebackers and then special teams.
Yeah. Oh, let me get to quarters real quick. The quarter secondary.
Yeah.
Darius Slay and Gardner Johnson has been awesome for the Eagles. They've made so many great plays. But also, yeah, Blankenship, Quentin Mitchell when they go a different way, or no, the other way. And then when they go nickel, you have Cooper DeJean, whose birthday it is, along with Barkley. They've been really good back there. The exciting whites, as McAfee mentions. They make some solid plays. I know DeJean is out there catching punts, but he's been great. Man, they're just solid defensively. It's really something to see that. When you look at the Chiefs, though, Jalen Watson, Justin Reed, who came over from Houston, he's made so many great plays this year as well. Brian Cook, Trent McDuffie, and then Connor when they go nickel. Justin Reed's just been the main guy making plays. So again, I would go with the Eagles and the experience they have with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Darius Slay. Big play Slay, I think they call him in Philadelphia. I got to give the Eagles the edge there as well.
Yeah, I'd have to go Eagles on that one. Like you said, they're one of the tough teams, and why not Eagles, I guess. And what about special teams?
Special teams. Okay, so you have Harrison Butker of Kansas City. And remember, he got hurt, and there was a thought that he would be out for the rest of the season. Well, he's come back, and he's just been solid. He's been really, really great. And he might have a big key into this game today. Matt Ariza, the punter out of San Diego State, and he's just been amazing. He won an award back in college, I remember, I think in 21. It's good to see him playing and punting, and he's just been great. Now, look at this, though. The Chiefs, of course, you don't see the punter that often with the Chiefs. Well, you did this year more than I think than usual.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. But when he does have to punt, he's been just great. able to get the ball back for them. He's been awesome. Brandon Mann is the punter for the Eagles. And again, same thing where you don't see him often because Saquon Barkley is running for touchdowns. Hurts is throwing for touchdown passes. But Jake Elliott, he's been really clutch this year for the Eagles. And again, you might see him in a close situation here, make or miss. He's going to be something in this game today. But yeah, I got to give the edge to the Chiefs when it comes to the kicker and the punter, Butker and Ariza.
I might go with the Chiefs, only the lack of bunting special teams. They're not afraid to go for it, which I think in the last game of the year, I know it's not Madden, but go for it. You got nothing to lose. You got four Super Bowls. You're trying to get third, but third straight. But just go all out, gut ball.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need it. You don't need special teams, I think. But what you do need is coaching. So who has the advantage on head coaches?
So I guess I'll start with the Eagles here. And of course, Nick Sirianni, not the dumb dip, from McAfee. He's just been something. It's only his fourth year, but there's been so much baggage with him and the Eagles, of course. Making the Super Bowl and then having a disappointing last year and keeping his job, but it seems like the fan base still doesn't like him. And
maybe they don't like him after a win. Maybe, yeah, who knows?
It's amazing. Yeah, if anybody needs it, it's him. But he hasn't ruined the game. I think like people thought he would, at least for this year so far. He's been really, really great.
Did when he was coach. He was like, run the ball, which is fine. But
yeah, that isn't encouraging as he becomes the Raiders' offensive coordinator. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, he's just been amazing, drawing up the plays according to what they have on the field. You can say that for everyone, but for Vic Fangio, he's always been good everywhere he's gone. The weird thing, though, is that how it didn't work out in Miami for him. They let him go, and the players rejoiced. But before that, they were doing really well with him. I think it was more about the players than it was him. Kellen Moore, who will likely be the Saints' head coach after the game here. Again, he wouldn't have to go anywhere, like you mentioned on Friday. He's always been a great X's and O's playmaker. Playmaker. I just think the Cowboys should have got him, but they went with the cheaper option. Hey, there's number one of Taylor Swift being shown.
I was going to say, do we count this as number one?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm sure they've showed it before, but that's the first time I've seen of it.
We'll get to that because I want to talk about shots that can remind me of that. So, yeah, Sirianni, Fangio, and more. They're just all great. With the Chiefs, honestly, doesn't it feel like Andy Reid. I know Matt Nagy's there as the offensive coordinator, but it feels like Reid is just the guy who draws up these great plays, and he has these fun trick gadget plays he'll also use because he trusts his players. It's just amazing to see that, and he has the 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls, and then also Steve Spagnuolo, he has I think 4 Super Bowls. I want to say he won a couple, back in the day with the Giants. So he's a winner there. I know he tried to coach on his own with St. Louis, but they didn't have the same amount of talent. But the way that he's able to disguise the defenses, like Robo was mentioning, that really helped him in that Buffalo game. So that was really good to see, and I really enjoyed what he's doing. Oh, what's up, Mess Around Dave?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Here to pop in and say hello and give you my quick pick on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
Who do you got?
I'm gonna take Kansas City for the three-peat.
Kansas City
Taylor-
for the 3.
Taylor Swift and her magic power is gonna help them win.
Oh.
I mean, that's one
No,
of many reasons.
honestly, I just want to see a three-peat in my lifetime. You know, it'd be cool to see because it's never been done before. And my brother's a Chiefs fan, so I kind of follow them too.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool to see the Chiefs go with 3-peat. Hasn't been done in the NFL, although Green Bay might challenge that theory, but it's never been done in the Super Bowl era.
Right.
But
yeah, I just figured come on and say hi and have a great rest of the show, guys.
hey,
We'll talk to you
All right, man.
enjoy the game.
later.
Later. All right, that was good to see him.
Yeah.
You know what he's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I gotta go with the. Ooh, yeah, I'll go with the Chiefs. But if the Eagles win, I think they'll have the best coaching staff all around. But you can never doubt Andy Reid. It seems like.
No, and speaking of Andy Reid, this is the Andy Reid Bowl.
Yep. Yeah.
Or 2, actually.
How many years? It felt like forever. He was the coach of the Eagles, and
Like
then
2000 to whenever he was with, I think.
I want to say 99
like,
to
hold on.
2014 or 13. So like 14 years as the Eagles coach, and then I think what was it 2016 to present? He's been the Chiefs head coach.
He was with the Eagles 1999 to 2012.
Ah, missed by one.
And then 2013 to now, he's with the
All
Chiefs.
right. I knew it was something like that. Chris, let's since Dave gave his predictions and score, or not the score, but for me, I'm gonna go Kansas City 33-28. What about you?
I am going with the Chiefs. We'll go 27-20 Chiefs. I don't think it'll be in overtime.
No.
Speaking of overtime, there's been 2 overtime games, and oh man,
Really? I thought there was just one last year.
Last year, and then don't forget the Falcons and the Patriots.
Oh, duh! Oi! I was so drunk and disappointed that I forgot it was overtime.
You're drunk and you forgot about it.
I was celebrating so hard that Brady finally lost in that fashion.
No, he won.
No, that it was gonna happen, and I was so happy for Matt Ryan, Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones. You know, all the Falcon fans that suffered. I was so happy for him, and I loved Lady Gaga's performance in the Super Bowl. And I thought, man, it's finally over. You know, 28-3.
It will live in infamy.
You know it will. All right, so the Chiefs will get the choice, I think, for the coin toss, right? Since they're considered since they're wearing the white.
I think they're the home. The Eagles are their home team.
Right. So the Chiefs will get the coin toss. Which way do you see it going? Heads or tails?
Oh, I got facts on this.
Oh,
no. I know. But it's not that much. Tails have been called 30 times. Heads have been called 28 times.
Wow. I like that. It's close.
I'll go with tails. It seems like tails never fails, as they say.
Oh, my.
But teams that pick 12 out of the 58 teams, 25 of them have won. No, wait. No, 15. 10 of them actually have won on tails. 15 of them have won on heads. And if you combine those, 25 of the 58 have won on the correct coin toss.
Wow. That's Chris's neato stat of the night. All I love that. Yeah, I'll go Tails as well. I just want next year to even up after next year's Super Bowl 30-30. I think that'd be awesome. I would
Yeah.
love that for being the 60th Super Bowl. All right, so another prop bet or whatever. Now this one is tough though, Chris. Who throws the first interception? Because both are really careful with the ball passing, right?
Easily.
Both are really careful with passing. So it's just for me. I would crap.
I'm going the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Something tells me though
Oh.
that Mahomes is trying to go deep at the beginning of the game, and one or two of those great corners try to pick him off, Slay or Gardner Johnson. Something tells me that might happen. So I'm gonna go Mahomes on that. Okay, so we've seen her once already. How many times has Taylor Swift shown during the game? The over-under, by the way, is 5.
Oh, over.
Yeah. And, of course, this depends how well Kelsey does, catching the ball, doing whatever, especially scoring a touchdown.
I was going to say, any touchdown shall be shown.
Yeah, ooh.
Any commercial break, shall be shown.
Well, when they show the celebrities who are there, like the known folks who are there, they'll show her probably last, I guess, or maybe the president. I don't know. Yeah. By the way, people are doing shots based on how many times Taylor Swift will be shown. So just keep that in mind and keep a bucket handy out there for the Super Bowl parties. Make sure the restroom door is wide open late. So there will be a tush push toward the bathroom.
Yeah, I think I saw like the soup that you put it out every year, the Super Bowl drinking game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I played my own in 2017. Yeah. I'm gonna go over as well. I'm gonna say 7 times she's shown. All right. So of course, Kansas City trying to get the 3-peat, Chris, and I'll go through the ones that have tried but failed. Okay, so the Chiefs, of course, the last 2 years, and they're trying to win it this year. Going back into history, before that, the 2006 Patriots tried, but they ended up losing to the Steelers, I think. Or no, I forget. But the Steelers, I think, played the Colts, and the Patriots did not 3-peat there. All right, the Denver Broncos, the 1999 Broncos, after winning 97-98. I don't think even qualified for the playoffs. It was Bobby Brister being the starter at quarterback that year after Elway retired. The Dallas Cowboys, 1995 Cowboys, could not repeat. Instead, they lost to the 49ers in the championship game. So they tried after 93-94. The 49ers, the 1990 49ers tried, but lost to the Giants in the championship game. The Giants, of course, went on to win their second Super Bowl. Scott Norwood missed wide left. So the 49ers were that team that tried. The Steelers in 1981 or 80. The Raiders ended up winning the Super Bowl that year after the Steelers won the last 2. And then the Steelers are twice on this list. 1977, but the Raiders beat them in the championship game and went on to win their first Super Bowl. So the Steelers tried to get the 3-peat twice. Miami before that tried to do a 3-peat, but they lost in 75 in the championship game against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh went on to win in Tulane, by the way, against Minnesota. I know we were talking about Tulane earlier. And then the first three-peat opportunity was the Green Bay Packers in '69, but they ended up losing, I think, to the Colts, and they won the first two Super Bowls, though.
Yes, and then the year before that, before the Super Bowl became a thing, they won the NFL championship. So that's where Green Bay Packers fans will be like, well, wait, we did kind of three-peat.
Oh,
So they're kind of like, well, we started it first, yes, but not in the Super Bowl era. You won two straight.
I see.
That's where they're probably gonna gripe.
Now that you mentioned that, there was this guy at this pizza place I used to frequent, and he was a big Packer fan. And he worked there though, but he would watch all the Packer games. He knew all the history, and I knew the Packers won a bunch of NFL championships, but I didn't know it was that many. Right? It was like 13 or something like that.
I think it was like
9, and then plus the Super Bowls, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's like, oh damn, okay. But he keeps bringing that up when the Steeler fan comes in, a Cowboy fan comes in, or a Patriot fan would come in. Like, no, we have more.
That's why it's called Title Town.
Ah,
yeah.
I call it Cheese Town.
Anyway.
Oh, by the way, Kendrick Lamar will be the performer at halftime. Yes. I'm gonna probably take a nap or something else, but we'll see who else he comes out with. But he's been a great rapper for the last decade plus.
I don't know.
I don't know. One of his nemesis is J. Cole and Drake, and we'll see if he does the revenge. What do they call that? Revenge songs, or he does diss songs toward them. Diss track, yeah. There's one against Drake that I think Kendrick was warned not to do, and we'll see if Drake is there. I know I had a friend say maybe Drake will be there, or maybe he won't. We'll see what happens. But Chris, now the NFL Honors Award show, that was what, Thursday, right?
Yep.
So
I got the list here.
Yeah, who won the important awards?
I'll go through them. They're not a lot. It may seem like a lot, but they're not a lot. MVP is Josh Allen.
That was debatable. I really thought Lamar Jackson would have won it based on his numbers, right. But I think they did it based on who was around Josh Allen, right? Like Amari Cooper, who they brought in from the trade from Cleveland, he wasn't as reliable, especially in the playoffs. He was non-void. Right. But you had like Mac Hollins and Shazier. James Cook was the only good running back they had, I guess. So they just did it where Josh Allen didn't turn over the ball as much too this year. So I guess that's why he won the award. That was kind of a shocker to me.
It was to me too. I thought Ravens quarterback would have done it. Let's see here. You also there's another Josh Allen award. He also won the Art Rooney Award and the FedEx Air Player of the Year.
Wow.
Saquon Barkley was the Offensive Player of the Year.
I don't mind that. I want to see a running back get his, and I think he deserved it with all the long touchdowns he's had, the games that he's had, and just his story going from literally worst to first. I just love that for Saquon. If he won the Super Bowl, out of everyone, I'm going to be the happiest for him.
He also won the Jim Brown Award, which is basically the rushing title.
Oh, yeah. Easily got that.
Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year was Patrick Surtain.
Ooh, so that one, I know that there were a couple other prime candidates, but the whole reason the Broncos were really, really good this year and the reason that they made the playoffs, yeah, you could say it was Bo Nix and all that, but secretly they've been getting rid of veterans on defense and then bringing in young guys, and
Yeah.
Sertan was part of that, and he's just been great this year. So I'm happy for PS2. I love his nickname. I watched his father back in the day with Miami, so that was a great award for him. I love that.
Defensive Rookie of the Year was Jared Verse of the
I
Rams.
yeah
Rams.
yeah linebacker, or I think
Yeah,
he's a
you're right.
linebacker. Yeah. I got to see him play in person. That dude comes off the line so fast. He's not afraid to talk as well. Even though it got back to him against Philadelphia, he said, "Oh, I hate Philadelphia. I hate the fans. I hate the colors." And then Saquon's running right by him. But yeah, he's had a great rookie year. People thought, okay, without Aaron Donald, what are the Rams going to be? But again, they've been growing offensively young, and they've been great as well. No one thought they would have had the same success, and they won some games for LA this year as well.
Jalen Daniels was offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah, there was no doubt for that. I think that started from the Hail Mary on. Everything that he won started from there, but he continued just to put up great numbers, and you could just tell too that he was never hesitant in the game. Like he never looked nervous. You know, he always had great composure. He had great command of the team. No pun there. And man, he just aired it out. He had Terry McLaurin be great after all the injuries he's had. And he's just spreading out the ball. Zach Ertz, speaking of old Eagles tight ends, that guy's had a renaissance of a year. He's had so many touchdown catches this year. He was awesome.
Yeah. He was. On your coaches, the coach of the year is Kevin O'Connell, while your assistant coach of the year is Ben Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, Ben Johnson, other from the playoff game, he had, there was one game that Goff threw 5 picks, but he's had the plays drawn up so well. He had the great talent too. And it just takes a great play caller to make that happen. Don't know if he'll have the same success in Chicago as he has in Detroit. That's going to be interesting. By the way, the longtime owner, McCaskey, passed away at 102. Yeah. She died earlier this year, I want to say, or earlier this week for Chicago. Kevin O'Connell winning that award, and he was re-upped on a contract, I think, for 3 more years. Yep. I don't know if Sam Darnold will come back, but O'Connell literally rejuvenated Darnold's career, and Darnold again finally had the talent around him to make something happen. But O'Connell, you could tell they were building something special the last couple of years, and really pulling them through, and they just had a magical season. That coach of the year in like any sport, right? It's either the best record or the best story, and I think they had the best story.
Oh yeah. And your Hall of Fame class, there's only 4 candidates or 4 people.
That was a shocker. There's usually 7 or 8.
Yes, and it's going to involve defensive back Eric Allen, defensive end Jared Allen. I don't think no relation.
No.
San Diego Chargers own Antonio Gates and Sterling Sharp, wide receiver.
So Sterling Sharp, of course, that's the older brother of Shannon Sharp, who's already in the Hall of Fame. I think they're the only 2 brothers that will be in the Hall of Fame, I want to say. I'm not sure about that. Oh, no, Matthews, Clay, and Bruce Matthews. That's the other one, I think.
I was also thinking of Tiki.
Oh! Yeah, and then the Anderson kicking brothers, Morden and I forget the other one. So there'll be 4, I guess. But yeah, with Sterling Sharp, he had a horrible neck injury that just derailed his career. But he was on his way to being one of the best pass catchers ever. So explosive. And this was a time that the Packers had Don Majkowski as their quarterback, and he would air it out. And then Brett Favre came along, and he aired it out. But it was so unfortunate for Sharp. But the numbers he put up all the years that he played were awesome. Jared Allen, he would always do this thing with that after the sacks.
Yeah,
He was a big force in Minnesota,
he
Kansas
was.
City, and I want to say I forgot where else he played, but
The only place I know is Minnesota.
Minnesota, Kansas. I think Kansas City before that, but I think he went somewhere else after Minnesota. Anyway, that dude was so fast getting to the line, getting to the quarterback off the line. I mean, he would spin and get in there. Just so many sacks. Awesome. And I know Dan Orlovsky has nightmares. There's always Jared Allen in the background or in the front court with when Dan went out for the safety, he ran out of bounds out of the end zone. Jared Allen kind of made that happen. Eric Allen, he was a long court. Oh, go ahead.
Jared Allen played for the Chiefs, the Vikings, the Bears, and the Panthers. That was his last team.
I knew it was okay. I wanted to say Panthers, but I was like, I don't know. And then the Bears, I totally forgot. But he was there when I think Jay Cutler was there. Eric Allen, he was a longtime cornerback, just a steady pro. Got a lot of interceptions, a lot of long 90-yard interceptions. He was so clutch. He was on the Eagles, the Raiders. I'm trying to remember anybody else, but he was awesome. I was kind of shocked he got in, but he did. And then Antonio Gates, believe me, I watched him all of his career. Came out or was drafted, I think, in 2003. Never played college football in Kent State. He was a basketball player, just like, Tony Gonzalez. Didn't really know what he was going to be in San Diego. And then Breeze was throwing to him, and then Rivers was throwing to him. So he always had great quarterbacks throwing to him. But this dude was so athletic. He would always get open on the post routes for touchdowns. And then, of course, there was one play that I always hated about him, where he used to work with LaDainian Tomlinson. Rivers or Breeze would give Tomlinson the ball in the backfield, but then he would throw the ball to Antonio Gates for a touchdown. So the running back throwing to the tight end. That was always a gadget play the Chargers would always use. And I just I hated that, but I respect Antonio Gates that much.
Right. Right now they're doing a bunch of their I don't know, pregame stuff right now.
I'm happy I'm avoiding all that.
What? Just curious.
It's just not.
It's too much.
Yeah. It's a reason why the game isn't at 3:18 but at 3:30 now.
Oh yeah. That's true.
All right. What was the last thing we were going to do?
I think your prime.
Oh yeah, since Primus, he would usually be on here for morning tailgate. We'll do a prime 5 for him.
Super Bowl snacks or dishes?
Yeah, favorite Super Bowl snacks or dishes. I guess I'll start with mine. So mine, the 5-layer dip with Tostitos chips with the scoops. That's always clutch. Like, as long as those scoops don't break, it's really, really great. So I really enjoy those. Mozzarella sticks. I know that sounds weird as hell.
Oh
but
no.
They're filling. They're really good, and everybody likes them.
Yeah.
Or at least everybody should. The kids love them too because of the string pull. That's what I remember when I was a kid. That's all I would, love to eat.
Like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I'm drunk or impaired, that's usually a go-to along with chicken fingers or whatever, chicken strips,
chicken wings, chicken fingers.
But third one is stuffed crust cheese pizza. Now I didn't get stuffed crust, but I did order the Hut, so I'm gonna have that right now. Stuffed crust cheese pizza, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And then, we just mentioned, now wings, I usually like boneless and barbecue with ranch. So that's my go-to right there. Boneless, though. For some reason, I just don't like all the work you have to do with eating a bone. I mean, not eating the bone.
Well, around it, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like that. I don't know why.
I understand. Especially if you're out in public or around people.
Oh, God.
With public, and
you have to put an adult
it's a lot of
bib
work,
on.
and you're messy, and
yeah. Like, let's say you're at the Super Bowl party and among friends or whatever, and you see this girl you like or whatever, and you're like,
hey,
and you have
you're like,
sauce
hey,
all
what's
over
up?
them.
And you got the sauce right here.
Yeah.
You're like, what's up?
I shake your hand, but it smells like barbecue. Ew, you're gross. So yeah, I guess that's why I avoid that as well.
Eater.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to whenever anything's saucy. It's really hard to eat that with any like class or manners. I try to. That's really hard. Like you said, in public, it's hard. Okay, this one you just have to like visualize with me. For dessert, I had to add a dessert. For me though, a small decadent cupcakes with those little circle sprinkles. I love having those, like the little vanilla ones with the icing on there. I love having that. Like that is a great, and it's not like cake where you have to like, cut it all up, decorate it, whatever the case is.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
no, you know that. No, is it cake?
It's just more convenient, and you can bring it to a party and be like, "Hey, I brought something."
Yeah. Already made food, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. For me though, for the beer, I'll just add this in. The beer, it's gotta be Modelo or Modelo Negra, and I'm good with that. I do enjoy like shots of like Jägermeister or peanut butter whiskey. I'll have all that too. Like I wish I was at a party, but I'm of course, not feeling well. But yeah, those are my go-tos. What's your prime 5 snacks or dishes for, let's say, a Super Bowl party?
I think you gotta go with the pizza or the wings. It's gonna be one of those two.
Oh God, that reminds me of that commercial, the Pizza Cut commercial, where the guys are arguing which way to say pizza and wings and pizza. Like they're trying to determine which is more important. That's of course a what do you call it? A throwback to Miller Lite being less filling, great taste. They would shout it back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put 2 and 2 together there.
You can go with the soda or the beer, depending on who's around and stuff.
But
yeah. But why?
Oh, that's another thing we could have done with Super Bowl commercials, but maybe we'll do that for
what's your Super Bowl?
For Entertainment Hour. We'll have a list though. God, I had a list. I had not a list, but a graphic here on one of these not reels, but one of these pictures, because I forgot them honestly. But I always like the E-Trade baby ones.
They had one last year.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Kinda.
The What's Up Budweiser one, yeah. Those are good. That was good back in the day.
I like the I think it was the Doritos one where
Ashton Kutcher.
That one's good too, but where they had the vending machine.
Oh, yeah.
Am I gonna get Doritos? I can't remember what it was. Am I gonna get Doritos or something like that? And they kick them, and he's like, "Not in your future."
Oh yeah. It was I think a time machine. A cardboard time machine. Yeah, I don't remember so many. Like, I really don't. And I didn't know this though. Have you ever seen Michael Jordan and Larry Bird have their McDonald's commercial?
Yeah.
where they're shooting like the game of horse for basketball, and they're just
Right.
shooting like ridiculous shots
Off the
outside the
rim,
gym.
on the
Yeah,
stands, through this window, something like that.
off the highway, expressway,
Yeah.
off the building.
Back around.
I love that. I didn't know that's right here, number 5 of the top 10 according to Fox Sports. But I didn't even know that was a Super Bowl commercial. Honestly,
What about the caulking stain? Tide.
I didn't even know that one was either. Wow. After that, I'm clueless.
I'm trying to think of some good. Oh, the graduation one, where the person graduating gets a new car.
Huh.
I'm
I gotta
thinking
go.
he's on.
I gotta go back and watch them all.
They
Yeah,
haven't been as good though. But hopefully
that's
they
what
get
I figured. I'm gonna get a top 10 list ready for Entertainment Hour on Friday because
cool.
I have no idea what
We can
what
talk
ones
about
are.
like the top 5 of this year's, if you saw it or not.
Of what? Oh,
The
of
Super
this
Bowl.
year's. Okay, so I gotta pay attention.
Well, I mean that are all time. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's almost game time.
Yeah, we should get out of here.
For the 11th Super Bowl in New Orleans,
It's already wow.
tied with California or no, Florida.
Miami.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, I think just in general because
Tampa
Jacksonville
Bay,
hosted the game.
Jacksonville. Yeah, Tampa,
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Mhm.
The I'm trying to think. New Orleans, man, they've had So the Raiders won there in '80. Cowboys won in '77.
Baltimore Ravens
Right.
blackout game.
Yeah, I remember watching that. That was awesome. I want to say the first one for them was Super Bowl IV when the Chiefs won over the Vikings. Tulane, I guess, is
Mhm.
New Orleans,
Mhm.
and then the Steelers over the Vikings in '74.
Mhm.
The Packers over the Patriots in '96. The Patriots over the St. Louis Rams in '01. This is, I think, the first one with the renovated stadium. Like they put less seats in, but they've had to put some like $760 million in renovations in it.
Yeah, it
And
seemed like it.
yeah, and they changed the name of the place. It's Caesars
Oh yeah, they did that last year.
Superdome. Yeah.
Yeah.
What interesting I saw on YouTube really quick. The conditions you have to have for your city to get the Super Bowl.
Oh, I heard this on my radio station. Like you have to have golf courts.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 good golf courses.
Yeah, not paid by the NFL.
Right.
And you have to make sure it's paylit. Like you can't use cash. They block out some of the ATMs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then 2 great bowling alleys.
Yeah.
Because allegedly, it's a thing everybody can do, like families and whatever. But they think that the commissioner of football loves bowling.
I like bowling too. But
I tried, I don't know how many weeks ago, and it just...
You'll get better. Just keep practicing.
I just got to get back on I got to find a Wii, and I got to do the Wii Sports Bowling. I got to get on that.
Don't do the Wii. You won't get the feel of it.
That's true. It's much lighter. All right, get us out of here. But hey, final thought though, everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. This was great to talk about it before without hearing everybody else talk about it. I just want to talk about the game. I just want to watch the game. Hopefully, Tom Brady has a great Super Bowl where he can be combative enough without like going over his rules. Me and Calvin were kind of talking about that on Monday on C2C at night. Hopefully we'll have a show tomorrow to recap, or I'll recap the Super Bowl, of course. But Hopefully
This
there's
is
shows
Tom
during the
Brady's
week.
first Super
Yeah, as a broadcaster,
Yep.
yeah. So the pressure's on him.
And his first Super Bowl as a player, New Orleans.
Yeah, 2001. And
So,
I bet that was the first thing they
full
talked about in the
circle.
booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember any other. Oh, the 49ers destroyed the Broncos 55-10 in 1989 to repeat.
Okay.
I want to say in
Chiefs
'89. Yeah.
Chiefs are being introduced by John Hamm.
And maybe it's the light on his hair, but I was like, wait, he changes color or something.
Probably. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. And if you're superstitious on jersey colors, teams that wear white won 36 out of 21 times. So
Really?
yes, if you're superstitious about that.
The Raiders won twice wearing white.
Mm-hmm.
And they won once as black, but they lost one Super Bowl white and one Super Bowl black. By the
Funny
way,
thing is, the last Super Bowl the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they were wearing green.
Yeah, and then they lost 2 years ago with the same color matchup
So they're
this
winning
year.
one. So that's what I mean. If you're superstitious, cool. But if you're not,
I knew it was going to be what's his name, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
And dude, let me say this: everybody keeps wearing the throwback green of the Eagles.
Yeah, the Kelly green.
Everybody loves that. I wish they would switch back to that full time. But you always see this crap. The newer, yeah. What I hate too, they wear like white tights on their legs, so they look like ballerinas. It just looks weird with the white shoes as well. They look so weird. Anyway, Chris, get us out of here.
So thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Eagles are out on the field now. We're getting set for Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the parties. Spend time with friends, family, whatever.
Aww.
And we'll be back next time for another edition of Morning Tailgate or Super Bowl Tailgate, whatever. We'll be back with our thoughts. Enjoy.